Subscribe to Motoroids for the most in-depth and detailed car and bike reviews. Hit that bell icon and you will be notified before everyone else. Hey guys, welcome to Motoroids.com. My name is Amit Shangani. This is a beautiful morning here in Bangalore and we are driving the new Ciaz, which has us rather impressed. The old version of this car was not all that inspiring, but with the new facelift, I must say it has a renewed appeal. So let's get done quickly with all the changes that have been made on the car and how well it stacks up with the competition. Let's get going with this one. Now the most prominent and visually the most significant change has been made to the face of this car. The grille has been transformed. It gets these chrome accents and the headlights are now all LEDs. The headlamp is a projector LED unit. It also gets this LED DRL here, although the blinkers are bulbs and the fog lamps are also LEDs. You also get these chrome surrounds for the fog lamp, and all of that really has completely changed the way the front of this car looks and added a lot of appeal to this. The previous version was not all that appealing, but now this car looks almost new, especially in the night with those lights on. So the Ciaz now has a renewed appeal, and a lot of people who did not buy the previous version because of its looks are really going to get attracted to it. Let's get to the side and see what are the changes there. Now on the sides you get these beautiful 16-inch alloys in a gunmetal silver kind of a finish. They are precision cut and I really love the way they look. You also get another 15-inch variants of these on the Delta and the Zeta variants, and the base Sigma variant gets a steel wheel with a cap. The top spec variant, the Alpha variant, gets a 195 rubber, while the lower variants get 185 section rubber with 65 profile. These beautiful chrome handles also have a sensor, so you get a keyless entry. I also like this chrome lining on the windowsills. And then finally, coming towards the rear, you get these all new, all LED tail lamps, which look very nice. In fact, a few of my colleagues were heard saying that they look like BMWs from a distance. These are the reflectors, and while this chrome surrounding will appeal to quite a few buyers, for me personally it looks a little too loud, but then again, chrome is something that sells in India, and if you really look at it from the rear, especially in the night, this car really has some presence, and you're going to realize it once you see it on the road. From the rear, those LED lights look stunning at this point in time, and that again is going to add a lot of appeal to this car. You also get these rear parking sensors, which is a parking aid, and this is a part of the new safety regulation which is going to be in effect very soon. And this car also comes with a safety warning system, which is rather annoying, and I'm going to talk about it in a bit. The spare here is not a full-sized one. This is a steel wheel and a 15-incher with a 185 section tire, and this is the one which would be suitable for the lower variants. However, in case of an emergency, you'd at least have something to rely on. The boot is a cavernous 510 liters, which is class leading, and this is as big as the City. And the Ciaz, in terms of length, in terms of its width, and with this enormous boot size, is one of the largest cars in its segment, and that also reflects in the space that we have inside, and we're just going to get inside and give you a taste of that. Now as soon as you get inside, you are greeted by a ton of features, including this intelligent key which enables push start and stop, as well as keyless entry, cruise control, electrically adjustable ORVMs, which are also power foldable, all power windows obviously, with driver side auto up and down, automatic air conditioning, rear AC vents, front central armrest with a cubby hole with some space inside. The driver's seat is height adjustable as well. On top variants, you also get these rear sunshades. You also get these reading lights for the rear passengers. These sunglasses holder up front. The RVMs are auto dimming. For charging your devices, you get a USB socket here, a 12-volt power outlet, an aux in, as well as a 12-volt power outlet at the rear. Now the good news here is, for your safety, ABS with EBD, as well as twin airbags and ISOFIX child seats are standard across variants. Yay! Now in terms of storage spaces, you get this bottle holder here which can store a 1 liter bottle. Right now there is a half liter bottle here with some space to spare. You can put a wallet here. You get this cubby hole here as well. You get twin cup holders here, as well as some space to store your keys or a cell phone here, and of course the crevice that we showed you before. This sunglasses holder is right there, and the rather small glove box is also there to store some stuff. We would have liked had this been chilled though, it's not. Just like the exterior, the interior has also been spruced up, and the key elements to see here is first this black and beige dashboard scheme with this birch blonde wood inlay with these satin silver finish inserts here and there, which makes the interior look very fresh and nice and airy. I quite like what I see here, although the finish is not right there with the best, but it's not bad also. However, when you look at the entire setup, it looks quite nice and you really think that you are getting a good bang for your buck. Now in terms of infotainment, the new Ciaz gets this 17.8 centimeter infotainment touchscreen system, and I think the touchscreen sensitivity of this one is a little better than before. It gets 4 speakers with 2 tweeters and sounds rather nice. There is absolutely nothing to complain about. It comes loaded with inbuilt navigation and is Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto compliant. Now a new feature here on the new Ciaz is this color TFT display, which gives you a lot of information. And let's cycle through all the screens that we have. So this is the average fuel economy screen and the range, and this is again a graph which lets you know about the fuel efficiency. Then this is the driving time as well as the average speed. This is the total idle stop time with how much fuel you have saved while idling. The clock. Now this is a party trick which is in the form of a G sensor. So when you're accelerating or decelerating, it shows you the G forces that are working on the car, and you also get this representation of how much power or torque is getting delivered to the wheels. This again is a graph which shows you whether the car is accelerating or whether you're braking. So if you're accelerating, you'll see the graphs on the top side, and if you're braking, you'll see the graph at the bottom. I've just released the brake, and as you can see, the graph is not being made. Now since I'm pressing the pedal, those bars are there again. Now this is a very important part of the MID readout, and this tells you whether the engine is charging the lithium-ion battery, which is a part of the smart hybrid system, or whether it's drawing power from it. You also get the door ajar indication through this really nice and rich color display. Now the instrument console here has been completely redesigned and it looks very nice. Apart from the colored TFT MID, you also get a new feature wherein the car's instrument console's ambient light changes color based on the revs that you give. So at lower revs it's white, at slightly higher revs it's green, and when you really give it the beans it turns blue. So it changes its colors based on the mood that you're in and the way you're driving. Now this is the top of the line Alpha variant, and as you can see, the seats are leather covered, and you'll get these leather covered seats only in the top variant. The lower variants don't have it. The seats by themselves are very comfortable. I quite like them, although they could probably have been slightly wider because people with bigger frame than me would probably find these bolsterings trying to shrink them. The bolstering is pretty good, although this is not the best in the segment, and that's only fair because this is not essentially a driver's car. This is a family car which is supposed to be driven moderately. So in that sense, the seats are very comfortable, if not very sporty. Now let's get to the back and see how comfortable the seats are there. As always has been the case, there is absolutely no dearth of knee space here. There is plenty of knee space, and there is so much space across the car that you can easily seat 3. There is minimum intrusion in the middle as well, and there would not be any problem if you want to load this car up with 5 passengers, and you can actually travel long distances with 5 passengers on board. The headroom is sufficient. It's not very generous. I'm 5'10", and if I sit straight, I just about managed to brush my hair a little bit. So even a 6-footer would probably be fine, although his hair would brush a little more, but I'm not complaining. The cabin is very spacious. This has to be the most spacious car in this segment, and Maruti gets a big thumbs up from us on that count. This central armrest with these 2 cup holders only adds to the phenomenal comfort that you get at the rear. Just like the front, you get a 1 liter water bottle holder here with a small crevice on the armrest. For any additional storage needs, you get these seat pockets and this small crevice here to hold your probably a cell phone or your keys. Now the big news with the new Ciaz is its new engine. The 1.4 liter petrol has been replaced by a 1.5 liter petrol, and now the power output, which was a bit of a problem with the previous car, it was a laggard. Now it's not. It's pretty much there with the segment. The power output here is 103 HP with 138 Newton meters of torque. The fuel efficiency for the 5-speed manual is 21.56 kilometers to the liter, which is class leading. and 20.28 kilometers to the liter for the 4-speed 80, which is not class leading. That accolade is taken by the Vento with the 1.2. It also comes with a smart hybrid technology where it deploys an additional battery, which is a lithium ion unit, and it helps with the start-stop system, brake energy recuperation, as well as provides a little bit of assist when you're accelerating. So that's a great new feature that Maruti have added, and we really have to appreciate Maruti for having created a good blend of power as well as fuel efficiency, and it's going to go down very well with the Indian customer. So right now we are driving the 4-speed petrol automatic. We don't have any diesels available for this drive. We have the petrol 4-speed automatic and the 5-speed manual, and we are going to get started with driving the automatic, and then we are going to talk about the manual as well. Let's get going with this. So we are driving the automatic version of the Ciaz right now. It's a 4-speed automatic, and the first thing that you need to know about this automatic transmission is that it doesn't come with manual mode, so you cannot choose gears. However, if you look closely at the drive selector, you'll see that it's a PR and D2 and L, which means that if you wish, you can drive in the second gear, and it also has a low mode, so it allows you to drive in lower gears for more torque, and that's what you can do, but you cannot choose gears. Also, one important inclusion with the new automatic transmission variant is that it now comes with an ESP, which is a great feature to have, and only the Vento and the Rapid have that feature in this segment. So congratulations to Maruti for having included that feature. It also comes with hill hold assist, and that would help you while driving uphill and the car won't roll back. But again, that feature is available in the automatic variant only and not in the lower variants as well as the manual variant. The fuel efficiency here is pretty good. It's 20.28 kmpl. However, this is not a transmission for the enthusiasts, so this is oriented primarily towards comfort and convenience, and it shifts gear pretty well if you are using part throttle or feathering the throttle. But if you mash the pedal, you're going to feel that the engine is going to make a lot of noise without moving forward with a lot of alacrity. So it's good for comfort and convenience, but this is not the transmission for the enthusiasts, and that's something that you need to be very clear about. The real world fuel efficiency on the automatic would be about 11 to 15 kilometers per liter, and obviously the manual would give you better efficiency because you have the control to manipulate the gears there. Now we are driving the manual version of the petrol Ciaz, and this is a 5-speed gearbox. And I'm really impressed with this engine. I got to understand the characteristics of this engine a little better with the manual, because the auto does not let you shift manually. And I'm really amazed by the tractability of this engine, and it's going to be very, very, very tractable within the city, as it pulls from as low as 500-600 RPM, although there is a very mild splutter, but it pulls from as low as 500-600 RPM, which is absolutely astonishing. And the kind of torque that you have low down the rev range is really going to help you drive in higher gears through the city without having to shift too much. So first and foremost, that is going to cut the inconvenience and make it very comfortable to drive. And secondly, it's also going to save a lot of fuel within the city. So while the fuel efficiency is already class leading, the low end tractability is only going to improve that fuel efficiency further. So within the city, this engine is going to be fantastic. It's reasonably smooth. It's not the smoothest that we've seen, but it's reasonably smooth, and it revs all the way to 6,250 RPM red line. But in terms of performance, I don't really think that this engine disappoints at all. It's very tractable. There is sufficient amount of power, more importantly torque, and it's very, very usable, very practical. Also, the gearbox is pretty good. The throws are short, and there's a very nice feel to it. There's no clunkiness, there's no rubberiness, and it's just a wee bit short of being called butter smooth, but it's very good. There is no issues whatsoever with this gearbox, and I really like this engine transmission combo as a manual, and I really think it's going to help the Ciaz sell in good numbers. In terms of ride quality, it's pretty good. It's a comfort oriented sedan, it's not a driver's car. The suspension is slightly on the softer side. The steering on the manual for some reason is slightly better than that on the auto. The auto steering was very, very inert, especially at the center. It was totally dead at the center. But this one has some feel, although this is not the best steering wheel that we have held, and it could have done with a bit more weight and a bit more feel. But I'm not complaining. I understand where this car is going to be used, and from that perspective, it's perfectly fine. The car feels stable at high speeds. It's not the best driver's car in the segment, although it holds its line very well in a straight line, brakes very well, and it's a dependable set of wheels. Although if you really want to be driving the car yourself and love driving, as I've mentioned before, The Vento or the Rapid are the cars to go for their handling and solid feel. But this holds its line very well, and it would not disappoint you if you're doing high speeds. So very sorted engine transmission combo, good ride quality, and a very sorted package from Maruti. Government's new safety norms are coming into effect next July 2019, and we are going to have that in all the cars from that time. But the Ciaz already has the speed warning, and once you cross 80 you are going to hear that beep, and you're going to keep hearing it every minute if you don't go below 80. However, if you cross 120, you are going to hear that beep, and that's not going to stop no matter what you try to do. So that can be annoying for some, but that is what is going to be the norm for all new cars from 2019 July. So be prepared for that. So how does it all add up? Is the Ciaz the go-to car in its segment now? If you look at the prices for the manual petrol version start from 8.19 lakh rupees and go all the way to 9.97 lakh rupees. For the 80 variant, that is a petrol 80, the prices start at 9.8 lakh rupees and go all the way to 10.97 lakh rupees. If you compare that with the rivals, there is absolutely nothing that can come close to this car in terms of value. Well, you have the Verna 1.4 Petrol, but it's not available in top variants. It is available at a cheaper price, but then again, it's a 1.4, and the power and the features and the size is not there. In fact, the city, if you really compare the 80 variants, the difference is as much as 3 lakh rupees. So the Ciaz at this point in time, with its very good engine, it's not the most powerful, but it's reasonably powerful, and you would not complain at all. The fuel efficiency, at least on the manual version, is something that nobody can come close to. In the 80 variant, the Vento has a better fuel efficiency, but then again, it's more expensive, way more expensive. As a package at this point in time, looking at the Indian sensibilities, this is an ace. This car looks way better than what it used to look in its previous version. It's loaded with features now, it's got ample space inside, and if at this point in time you're going to buy a car in this segment, you cannot buy a car without having test driven this. I really hope that I was able to answer all your questions about the new Ciaz. If you like this video, do hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. If you have any questions, ask me in the comment section below, and I'll come again with a lot more reviews just like this. Until next time then, this is Amit Changani signing off. Rev hard, rev free, and drive safe.